If you'd please introduce yourself.
Hi, you guys. I'm Roddy. I am a community behavioral health youth navigator for the Youth Access and Resource Program over at Greater Columbia Behavioral Health. We are located in Kennewick. So basically, we work with kids who are trying to access resources and get connected in the community.
Perfect. And how old are you?
I am 35.
Perfect. Where did you go to high school and did you graduate?
I went to high school in Payette, Idaho. It's about an hour out of Boise, and yes, I did graduate. Senior class president, whoop whoop. It was a fairly vanilla childhood experience, but had a couple of friends, which was huge, and some really good teachers.
Perfect. And then did you go to college?
I did go to college. I went to Idaho State University. That's located in Pocatello, Idaho, near the Utah-Idaho southern border there. And yeah, graduated in 4 years, 3.3 GPA. I'm pretty proud of it.
What's your degree in?
My degree is in sociology.
Perfect. And how do you use that with your job?
So sociology, one of the benefits of this degree is the ability to serve in different types of roles. So from social work to anything that has to deal with dealing with people, social services, human resources, you could use that degree for that kind of thing.
Perfect. And what's your favorite thing about your job?
My favorite thing about my job is my coworkers are great, but even greater than that is the opportunity to influence a child's life for the better. So if a kid is dealing with something difficult, it's probably my favorite thing on the world outside of being a dad is influencing them to make a better choice.
Mm-hmm. And then what's your least favorite thing about the job?
Least favorite thing is hearing about just the horrific tragedies that certain kids go through, whether it be abuse, their parents making terrible decisions, being born into just really, really poor circumstances. It breaks my heart, but that's the meaning of the program, is to make a difference in those areas.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to tell a little more about programs available through your...
Yeah, so one of the big things that we call it the YARP program, Youth Access and Resource Program. One of the big things that we do is get kids connected to resources. And so one of the big things that I'm probably most proud of the program is our website. And we have a aspect of our website that shows a lot of the resources in the community, what insurances they take, the population that they serve, whether or not they're accepting new clients, and if they are, it tells you the wait times to anticipate. And Casey, I'll give you the link for that to provide to them if you'd like to check it out. And the awesome thing is that it's updated every 2 weeks. So instead of parents or school counselors or anybody calling around trying to get their loved one into services, this resource hub was created to mitigate all of that stress and time-consuming efforts. So I hope that you guys check it out if Casey's able to get the link for you.
Mm-hmm. And then, do you think that going to college and getting this degree, being able to get into this career, is worth it?
So I try to avoid making blanket statements with stuff like that. I don't think college is for everybody, and I think there are very lucrative meaning jobs that you can get without a degree. I'll give you an example. Well, Casey could give 2 examples with her parents. Neither of my parents went to college. My mom worked in a prison. She worked with victims who had gone through really bad stuff. My dad was a pastor and he worked in grocery retail, and they both retired before 65, and in a couple days they're going on a cruise in the Caribbean, so they're doing pretty well. Mm-hmm. But that's not for everybody. Sometimes if you're looking to do a specific trade, my job requires a degree. If you want to be a lawyer, a doctor, obviously those things require a degree. My biggest piece of advice for anybody who's not knowing what to do with their life is find out what you're passionate about and find out what you're truly interested in, where it doesn't feel like you're going to work, it feels like you're going to have fun. And then do as much research and navigation into finding out as much about that as possible. And I think in the long term, that'll save you a lot of time and money. I think student loan debt is we're in a tragic state of student loan debt, but when it makes sense, apply for as many scholarships as you can. If you're eligible for any grants, look into that. And I know that those are all adult type of topics, but I encourage you to ask your school counselor, your parents, somebody that you respect, feedback about those things.
Perfect. And then are there any stories you'd like to share from your job?
Yeah, success stories. So I've worked with both kids and adults. I like working with kids more, just for the fact that I feel like, and again, this is just an opinion, you have more of an opportunity to make a difference early on rather than, once somebody's grown up and you have that ingrained thinking, they're kind of set in their ways. By and large, I'm not speaking for everybody. But my favorite thing about working with kids is specifically if a kid is going through something really, really difficult and they're vulnerable enough to reach out for help and I'm able to help them, that's the biggest thing. And so right now, what's most fresh on my brain as far as a success story that I can share is working with a girl who's probably about 7th grade, maybe a year younger, 6th or 7th grade, has been in inpatient hospitals multiple times. Her mother was driving her around the state trying to get her boarded into an ER just so she could get treatment. It's been months. We've had her for months on end. I think we're coming up, we probably passed the 1-year anniversary for her being in the program. And she is finally settled in at home with accommodations through the Developmental Disabilities Administration. She has WISE services, which is wraparound intensive services. So she's got a counselor, she's got a care coordinator, she's got people with lived experience working with her, and she's doing better than she has been doing in a long, long time. And there's still a lot of work to do, don't get me wrong, but she's crossed some pretty significant barriers to get to where she's at now. And her mom's amazing, single mom, and she's essentially done it all herself. So it's been a cool thing to walk alongside.
Perfect. And then last question, do you
Yeah.
have any advice for the 7th graders?
Biggest piece of advice outside of what I've referenced as far as doing your homework, don't do drugs. Best advice my dad ever gave me. And have one really good friend in your corner. And that person can be your age, they can be a little bit older, they can be an adult, but as long as you trust them and they give you good advice that you can make you really think about things, what you're going to do with your life, that was huge for me. So a mentor, somebody who truly cares about what you want to do with your life, and then go for it.